Hello and welcome to the Strategic Bookkeeper Podcast. Today's episode, we're doing part 2 of Inside a Five-Figure Sale, a tribe member's success story. So if you didn't listen to the last episode, please go and do that now so this one makes sense. Today's episode, for me, it's all about action, okay? So I just want to take a moment after the powerful story that I shared to just talk to you about what you need to think about so that you can take action. In fact, when I look at my little notes here, it says think, move. So I want you to think about some stuff and then I want you to move, meaning get cracking, take action, make changes in your bookkeeping practice, in your mindset, in your productivity, in the mechanics. And even if it is a tiny little change, all those tiny little changes will add up over time. So let's do it. I'll see you in the episode. I'm Jeannie Savage, the Strategic Bookkeeper. I've been in practice for 14 years, but more importantly, 5 years in, I achieved a lifestyle practice. This means I scaled my business, could take my hands off the wheel, and draw a nice six-figure income while being time rich. And that's what I call my dream on my terms. I was recently awarded Women in Finance Innovator of the Year, recognizing my book, my podcast, my program, and my impact globally. The Strategic Bookkeeper is my life's work, and the opportunity to help bookkeepers globally achieve the income and lifestyle that sets them free absolutely fills my cup. Please do connect with me on socials at the Strategic Bookkeepers Way private Facebook group or shoot me an email, hello@thestrategicbookkeeper.global. Okay, my friends, so let's dive into this episode. I'm so thrilled to have all of this to share. So continuing on from the last episode, I'm looking at my computer. I'm going to name it to tame it as I record this so I can look at notes that I've got. I want to really cover off the key areas. I'm going to look at the Bookkeeping Practice Blueprint, so you can grab your copy of that from the show notes as well. I'm also actually looking at a post I shared in the private Facebook group today, just explaining the results and then some comments that we got as well. Okay. And I might start with a couple of things around that. So when I did the hot seat with Sarah, we recorded and then I might have mentioned that in the last episode, so everyone will get access to this, but I also shared it. And last night I was sitting on the sofa and I was having a look at a private Facebook messenger group for startup bookkeepers. So as you know, I shared in the last episode that Sarah's quite green, like she's reasonably startup. And it's, as I record this episode, it's February 2025. So I've taken a big break over Christmas. It's been a big couple of years, giving my heart and soul to the Strategic Bookkeeper and to my clients. So I just kind of started slowly doing what I used to do, which is, I guess, sneak into my Facebook messages and read things that the tribe is saying. It's been really hard to tear myself away from that, but I did really do that over Christmas. And there was a comment in there from one of the bookkeepers who is in the little startup group, just talking about moving through limiting beliefs and moving through these things and valuing herself. And they talk a lot in this group about moving past the fear of charging out probably or proposing double the rates that they thought that they would, right? And what that triggers in terms of valuing themselves and so on. And sometimes they toil over it for a while and then finally they press go and then the prospective client says yes and all these different things. And it reminded me why I do this. It was really amazing. And for some of these tribe members, they're at the beginning, right? They're still in those beautiful baby steps. I mean, even the story of Sarah, she's right at the beginning. She made a sale of over $10,000 because the truth is that she gets all the support she needs inside the program. I won't be shy about saying that. There is no freaking way on God's green earth that she could have got that result without the support of the transformation program, without all of us, without me, without the tribe and so on, okay? I mean, she was not going to propose the recruitment job, that's for sure. So, just setting the scene here, and when I posted in the Facebook group this morning, one of our tribe members, she's so much fun, so lovely. She said, "This is fabulous, gives me so much motivation, and I'm excited for all of us." She thanked the tribe member for being brave and constantly sharing, because Sarah does share. She's very open. She's very vulnerable. She's a pretty straight shooter, and that's helpful as well. Okay. And then this tribe member is thanking me for God. She says, "Thank you, Jeannie, for guiding us and giving us the support to believe in ourselves." And it's a big part of it, and it's easy for me to forget that. Right? It's easy for me to go back to the mechanics. All right. I'm in a place of, I'm 15 years into my practice. I've seen it all. I've been there, done that. And I've crossed the threshold of many, many hurdles. One of them being believing in myself and confidence, right? I am very, very, very confident. But so are so many of my tribe members now. Like, I think of Deb Stevenson. When I met Deb way back in 2023 when she joined our program. She says her confidence was at an all-time low. And within no time, she's just this superstar, rock star, confident. And as I said in the last episode, our prospective clients, our market, they really want and need to fall into the hands of someone confident, capable, and professional. And I guess when this tribe member says, "Thanks for the support to believe in ourselves," believing in ourselves is confidence. So another one of the tribe members says, "Congratulations, I've got a coaching proposal to pull together, so I'll keep this in mind and make sure I don't lower the price due to imposter syndrome." Now, the tribe member that said that, she's knocking it out of the ballpark. Like, she is a confident bookkeeper. She's young. So she's a young mum with a couple of beautiful kids. I'll let you know, her specialty is farming, and she's in farming herself. She's just another wonderful tribe member and contributor. But when you hear what she says, like, it's important to know that no matter how well we're doing, we can always learn and do better. Like she says, "I'll try hard not to lower price due to imposter syndrome." Now, if you met her, if you listen to her, you would think she doesn't get imposter syndrome, okay? Someone once said to me that the only people that don't get imposter syndromes are imposters. We all get it, okay? And then one of our newer tribe members just said, "Amazing." So I just wanted to set the scene. And that was, I guess, I always go to a place of from my heart, what my heart is inspiring me to share. And my heart was inspiring me to begin by sharing all of that. So now I want to go to those 6 things that I asked you to think about in the intro of the last podcast, the results and the things that I'd really like you to do in terms of lessons. So to this, what my notes say, once again, is think, move. That's what I want for you. Basically, those things were: number 1, limiting beliefs; number 2, employee mindset; number 3, bias and self-assessing; number 4, pricing; number 5, advisory; number 6, communication. And I'm going to really throw paint at the canvas. So that's the kind of bulk of my notes. Beyond that, I'm going to just authentically share everything I can think of related to those things in order to help you. But to help me, I'll definitely look at the bookkeeping practice blueprint. If you haven't already gleaned it by now, if I tell you constantly that I'm looking at it, my partner looks at it every day in his business. We've got a version of it that's called the Business Mastery Blueprint as well. So you have to be looking at this all the time. So to help me help you, I'll toggle between that blueprint and also these 6 things, okay? Hey, I just wanted to take 1 minute to tell you about our signature transformation program, in my own words, from the heart. So this is a program where I'm really passionate about helping you to build a thriving practice, delight your clients, and live your dream on your terms by leveling up to become a strategic bookkeeper. My tribe inside the program tells me that there is nothing like my signature program on the planet. 100% of them describe it as mind-blowing. And I'm so pleased to tell you that many tribe members get 5- and 6-figure results within the first 12 months. And it does come with a full money back guarantee, which is so easy because tribe members say that they tend to make the whole year's fee back within the first month. But it does also come with a weekly payment plan because I wanted to make it accessible to everyone. Now, while there is tons of information on our website and previous podcasts, I also want to let you know that our customer success manager, Demi, would love to chat to you and answer any questions that you've got, so you can book a call with Demi no matter where in the world you are. So feel free to visit our website or drop us an email, hello@thestrategicbookkeeper.global. Back to the podcast. So basically, I'm just thinking about where you might be at in your bookkeeping practice. I'm taking a moment to hold you in my mind, and I'll probably start by talking about the busy bookkeeper versus the thriving bookkeeper, okay? Because 80% or more of bookkeepers are busy, but not necessarily thriving, okay? And I was the busy bookkeeper in the first 5 years. So in order to move forward in your practice and thrive, so thinking about what Sarah did, so Sarah nailed the left-hand side of the bookkeeping practice blueprint. And that means, like, when I look at it, it says before you answer the door to a prospect, nail the left-hand side. That way you'll avoid building busy rather than thriving. If you don't have all these things in order, so what we've got here is, for example, foundation, like your brand, like a good basic strategic brand with the brand assets being brochure, social media, website. If you don't have an idea of your plan with who you're going to need to recruit, if you don't have a way to build a success mindset and be productive, all those things sit in foundation, then that's going to hold you back, okay? Then we've got financial management. So that's all covered off in my new book, which should be published about now. well, if you're on our mailing list, we'll let you know. And then products and pricing, product ladder, conversion process. So these things sit on the left-hand side, and you need to have those dialed in so that when somebody knocks on the door, just like they did with Sarah, and they said, help, okay, then you can do what Sarah did. You can serve them appropriately with the right products and pricing, with your product ladder and your conversion process to do what Sarah did. It is that kind of simple, and simple, though, doesn't mean easy. Now, I'll let you know that in the transformation program, you get everything you need to nail that left-hand side within a couple of weeks, okay? Because I've said it before, but if it's not 100% clear, the transformation program is a done for you and done with you, okay? In further episodes, I'll be diving into that again, how it's education assets, implementation, team and support. But I think big picture wise, and you might be saying, but how do you do that? And if I haven't been clear enough on that, I would just probably say you can either digest all the information we give you on the program, or you can now reach out and book a session with the amazing Demi to ask her questions. And then she'll give you everything you need to know, answer any questions that you've got. So you can email us hello@thestrategicbookkeeper.global and just say, you can say, I want a meeting with Demi. I want to talk about the transformation program, because this episode's not to go into that. But if you're wondering, but how do you give us all that? What I see inside the tribe is they get 10 years of results really, really fast, because it took me that long to develop all that. But they get it the minute they join, like done for you. And then to make it your own, there's just a little bit of done kind of with you and DIY elements. But what you need to know to rinse and repeat is within 2 weeks of joining, and I've seen it done, you can nail all that stuff, okay? And if that's not clear, just book a complimentary Zoom meeting with the amazing Demi here at HQ. So going back to, it's kind of that simple, so to speak. Simple doesn't mean easy. And even when you join the transformation program, you got to give me the hours and the attitude, right? Put in the work, just like I've done in the past. But just coming back to it's that easy. So basically, there's kind of what it looks like when you don't have it nailed and what it looks like when you do. So Sarah's story. So what if Sarah didn't have all of that nailed? Maybe I'll look at it that way for you. If Sarah didn't have all the things that I've talked to you about there, the foundation, the understanding of financial management, products and pricing, massive part of Sarah's success, right? The product ladder, big part, and the conversion process. If she didn't have those things in place, well, what would she maybe have done with that prospective client? Well, think about what you would do. So that person knocked on the door. She probably would have started by saying, well, what do you need? And she probably would have going to market at much lower rates. She might have charged hourly rather than outcome. She probably wouldn't have even had the brand in place to nurture that prospective client to even value her enough to ask for a proposal, right? So see how all those things happen. But if we just go to the basics of, well, she might have proposed even less than $1,000 worth of services, right? Think of it that way. So she might have said, okay, well, I'm X amount per hour and I'll come help you. She might have charged in arrears and had them pay her at the end of the week. She might have made $2,000 in a week or so and moved forward in that kind of way. Now, in terms of conversion process, the way that this sets you up is that we give you the ability, and nailing this left-hand side, okay, gives you the ability to convert more prospective clients regardless of price. In this case, it's allowed Sarah to convert that prospective client into over $10,000 worth of services, boom, like that, okay? If we look at what might have happened previously, is either she may not have converted them, because if you don't have all this stuff nailed, like the brand and so on, understanding how to put this person through this process, because you can look at this, all right, you can look at this as a diagnostics, right? So when I get bookkeepers come through to the program, then they can use it as a diagnostics. Like sometimes I get someone come through and their brand's pretty good. They still integrate our stuff in and it elevates it, but the brand's pretty good. Sometimes I get people come in, they've got no idea, or the brand really needs work, etc. Okay. And so you can use this as a diagnostics. But in terms of competitive advantage, so when this prospect came through and is considering Sarah to buy from, there's a whole lot of competitors out there, and many of them want to charge a lower price. And what we want you to be able to do is convert that PC, prospective client, into a client, irrespective of even if you are charging out double or more. And that is competitive advantage. And so all of that comes into play here. If Sarah managed to convert that client, it might be at lower prices. And if you have a look at product ladder, where we have content, welcome, core, and succession, and going back to products and pricing. So I'm literally reading this off the blueprint, okay? Products and pricing, the third little rung on that is incorporating advisory. So when Sarah proposed services after that support, she went back proposing the couple of $1,000s in initial bookkeeping work, the setup of the new file, but also she incorporated her recommendations for advisory. And in this case, it was, well, I'm going to recruit someone for you. And to do that, it'll be $7,500. Okay. She's not yet registered for tax because she's so new and green. So it was $7,500 if you are GST registered, that it will be plus GST. Right now, a good exercise for you is just to think about what you might have done with that prospective client when they came through, and would you have said, okay, well, tell me what you need? Because that question is fatal. Don't ever ask that question again. Like if I'm going back to Think and Move, please never ask anyone ever again, what do you need? Ask them, tell me about yourself. So if you said, what do we need? And the client said, or what do you need? And the client said, well, we just need someone to come in and work for us on an hourly basis. What do you charge? And you might go, oh, well, they asked you a question, you answer, because that's not how we roll at the Strategic Bookkeeper either. But you've put yourself in that position where the conversation went and you just said, well, I'm $50 an hour, $60 an hour, $100 an hour. Great. When can you start? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can come in now. And it rolls from there, and you're building busy. You're not building thriving, and you're missing a lot of opportunities because you've got a broken model. You've got a broken business model without the right systems and processes in place. Now that I've just kind of given you a way to use the bookkeeping practice blueprint as the diagnostics and to-do that it is, let's go back to 6 things that I want you to think and move on, okay? I touched on all of these in the last podcast, so we're just going to expand on them. So that limiting beliefs, which I guess I talked about a bit in the beginning of this podcast too, that is that believing in yourself and confidence and valuing yourself, okay? I talk about this tons in my new book, rather than limiting yourself with limiting beliefs. It's a funny phrase because some limiting beliefs are normal and service. For example, I can't climb up on my roof right now and fly off, I'll hurt myself. That belief that I can't do that right now without getting pretty organized with some good gear is probably a belief that serves me. So I've always been a bit conflicted by this phrase, limiting beliefs, but there are many limiting beliefs that just aren't true. They're just simply false beliefs that we've put in place, and while we believe them, they will limit us. For example, I can't raise my prices. I'm too busy to learn and do this stuff. Who do I think I am? I can't. This client will never buy recruitment off me. All of these things, right? They're all limiting beliefs and they're not true. And you only see that once you brave up to just put them aside and allow yourself to surrender into a place of trust. Okay, so it's just food for thought, massive subject, but food for thought. Next, the second, and I guess what I'd like you to do, if I'm thinking move, I want you to read both my books. My second one has got a lot about this stuff in it, and I want you to read it and then just take some action based on what I tell you in my new book. Okay, and take some action and just make a commitment to the next 12 months when limiting beliefs come up, just to say, okay, I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to trust and I'm going to try something new. Now, if you're inside the program, of course, that's easier because I give you all the tools and resources. If you're on your own and you're going to raise your prices massively or double your prices, but you don't have a good brand and a competitive advantage and the ability to convert properly, it's going to be a bit harder. But you do what you want to do. I'm just going to encourage you to try and raise your own expectations of yourself to build that self-belief and that courage and that confidence. Number 2, employee mindset. This one's pretty simple. If you listen to episode number 2 of the Strategic Bookkeeper Podcast, it's going to go into that. The main thing I'll say there is employee mindset is the mindset that says things like this, or does and says the following things. So the does is prices by the hour and thinks about things by the hour rather than outcome. So the business owner mindset is I'm selling outcomes and I'm solving problems with my expertise, my intellectual property, my awesomeness. The employee mindset thinks by the hour, not outcome. And the employee mindset thinks I'm solving problems with my time. Let me be crystal clear. You are never solving problems with your time. Time is something that is existing while you're solving the problem, but you're not solving it with your time. Okay. Otherwise, everybody would take the same amount of time to solve the same problem, and that's not how it works. Okay. You're actually not selling your time, but you might think you are. You might set your clients up to believe that you're selling them time. You're never selling time. You're selling the solution to a problem, and you are selling and providing outcomes. Employee mindset obviously comes from when we were an employee, which will be most of our life before we move into being a business owner. And unfortunately, we stick with that. Therefore, you might have had that employee mindset forever until I make you aware of it. So episode 2, please listen to that. Now, in terms of removing employee mindset, listen to what I just said over and over again, and then journal, do some writing down. What does this mean to you? Go through the 3 A's to change. So awareness, acceptance, action. Become aware that you're in this time for money mindset, and then so awareness, accept it. And then in terms of action, I want you to just start telling yourself every day, I'm not selling my time. Of course I'm not selling my time. Oh my goodness, right? When you go and buy a hamburger, are you buying the time that it takes to make the hamburger? Are you paying more for a hamburger that takes 5 minutes to make or 1 minute to make? No, you're not. You pay the price for the hamburger, you're buying the thing. Believe it or not, or please do believe it, your bookkeeping service, that I like to call a product, is the same as the hamburger. They're buying the outcome, okay? Now, I could go on and on about that, but I've got tons of episodes on this. So listen to episode 2. And if you haven't already listened to episode 75, 76, 77, I'm going to go ahead and recommend 74 before you do that as well. So number 3, bias and self-assessing. I've been doing a bit of content lately at the Strategic Bookkeeper for my tribe inside the program on this one, okay? Because it's a massive pet peeve and it will rob you of opportunity, as I talked about in the last episode. Every time you get up in your head and decide for yourself what your client thinks and wants before you've actually asked and got a clear response on what they are thinking and what they want, I want you to realize it's bias and self-assessing. And let me tell you, entrepreneurs, bookkeepers will always justify, yes, but Jeannie, I know because. No, you don't know, because you're not listening and you are looking through the lens of your own bias, right? Your bias, just like I talked about in the last episode, your own budget, your money situation, your feelings and your thoughts about money, what you need and want. And even in this case, a perfect example, this is a recruitment business. They wouldn't buy recruitment off me, right? Bias and self-assessing. You need to do the work to do the 3 A's again. Become aware when you're doing it, accept it, and then take action. And that is say, okay, I'm not going to let my bias and get in the way. I'm not going to self-assess what the client wants. I am going to focus solely on my personal recommendations, okay? And then I'm going to make those recommendations and I'm going to listen. I'm going to ask powerful questions. I'm going to ask powerful questions, okay? Number 4, pricing. So I feel like everything we've talked about is to do with pricing. So let's look at pricing and advisory, number 4 and 5 together, as I toggle back to the bookkeeping practice blueprint, okay? So what have you learned about products and pricing and product ladder from the story? So products and pricing being smart, simple suite of products. Sarah sold a recruitment product. So it's a product when I've got lots of features, functions, and benefits and outcomes wrapped up with a one fee attached, and I give it a name. So in this case, I think it was a recruitment gold package, okay? Not very creative, but efficient. And she sold a stock standard catch-up rectification package, which she did customize a bit. And we had to tweak it a bit because she'd broken a few rules. But at the end of the day, our productized service for both of those things. So she sold 3 products to the client, totaling a bit over $10,000, okay? Robust pricing strategy, right? So she's got a pricing calculator. She's got minimum one-off job charges. She's got minimum monthly job charges, and she's using the minimum viable rates, et cetera, et cetera. She's got a robust pricing strategy. She's incorporating advisory from the get-go. So she has, in this case, because she's still in the emergency work phase, but she's recognized that the client's got a problem, right? In this case, I need staff. She can solve that problem by selling them some advisory. Now, I get that you might not be positioned to sell recruitment. If you want to, you can come into our transformation program. We give you everything we need. And I'm literally just about to run a recruitment masterclass for the tribe. because of Sarah's experience. I've said, okay, I'll do that. That'll help Sarah even more. It'll help everyone, and it'll be in the academy. Okay, so we're going to run that. So in terms of pricing, and if I'm thinking move, that was my little note for you. So think is like, I want you to think about what I've said. I want you to learn from that. And then I want you to move. Okay. So in terms of moving, what can you do around pricing, around what I've shared? You can definitely read my books. You can definitely listen to more of my podcasts. You can buy the Pricing Academy from me. You can join the transformation program. You can even start with our starter membership. There's tons you can do. Take small incremental action. If it was a little thing, it'd be just committing to, if you haven't read both my books, it would be an hour a day on the audio books. Okay. If you want to do something really, really small, okay, it's up to you. Choose your own adventure. So we've gone through pricing and advisory. Okay. And then I could share more on product ladder, but I'm not going to. But I want to move on to communication. So I went into that in the last episode. So let's just expand a little bit. Now, on the Bookkeeping Practice Blueprint, on the right-hand side, right down the bottom under Standard Operating Procedures, it says Promises Kept and Communication. Okay, I could literally run a business for bookkeepers, teaching them how to use communication to turbocharge everything and make six figures. Yeah. So communication, I see most bookkeepers getting very wrong. All right. And in terms of think, move, so I want you to think about the following and then take action. So where do I see bookkeepers getting it really wrong? Well, bookkeeper speak. They are not clear and direct and concise enough. Okay. They treat the client like they want to be treated rather than how the client wants to be treated. Okay. And this adds up to the prospective clients or the clients not telling them, but getting very frustrated as they feel like there's a lot of time being wasted, when really what they want is just the headlines and a solution, half the time just a solution. Okay. It leads to client dissatisfaction. It can lead to poor retention. Certainly it will impact your retention negatively. It can lead to low conversion rates. Okay. And it can also, because it leads to low prospect and client satisfaction, it can lead to reputation damage as well. So isn't it like, are you taking a moment now to go, what? Communication can do all of that. So conversely, when you use communication as a secret marketing weapon, you'll get the opposite. For example, with my prospective clients, when I'm clear and direct and concise and I talk client, so I go straight to the point and I'm like a doctor writing a prescription and I'm like boom, 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 and I don't say one word more than I need to, and I just say, right, I know exactly what you need. You're going to get that in my personal recommendations by close of business tomorrow in a formal proposal. Is that okay? Yes, it is. Rock and roll. Any questions? No. Good. Go. Off we go. So they get off the phone and here's what they think. Oh my goodness, I just fell into the hands of like a superstar who knows exactly what to do. She just saved me a whole lot of time. Okay. She was clear and I understood her. I cannot wait to work with her, and I could care less if she's twice what everybody else is. So that's the effective communication. The next thing is I use video sales letter, because I don't expect them to look at my brochure or read my brochure. I chuckle, right? Because I am like a 10 out of 10 at this stuff. And that's okay if you're not. If you're over at 1, okay, then there's tons of room for improvement. But I know exactly how to communicate with my prospects and my clients to get the most incredible results. For example, I use a video sales letter. It's very strategic. So my opening message when they use Ignition software or they interact with Ignition to see my proposal, it's very short, sharp, direct. It's like, I call it greetings and gratitude, and it basically makes sure they understand they're going to watch my video end to end because they're going to see exactly what I recommend in there. So they're like, okay, great. And then they watch my video. So greetings and gratitude, about us and how we work, the most important part of my video, about us and how we work. and then we get to the what part. Like, here's what I'm recommending, which makes sense because they've seen my video sales letter over my brochure, which explains the customer journey and exactly why I'm recommending what I'm recommending. But here's what you need to know. When I get to the what part of what I'm recommending, so for example, a file health check or catch up and rectification work, that is the least important part, because that is the long haul flight that they have to pay for to get to the destination that I know that they want to get to, okay? Now, a video is what they want to see. They don't want to read a brochure, all right? A lot of your clients are dyslexic. They struggle to read. You're not showing empathy if you don't even understand that. So video communication is what they want. I catch up with clients on Zoom. I do phone calls. I do voice clips, yeah? What's the result of all this? Well, the inversion of what I talked about was the bad result. The good result is prospects who are raving fans and refer their friends to me before they ever even work with me. Clients who are raving fans and stay with us forever, okay? So many great things, all because of communication. So I could just go on and on. So easy ways to take action, right? So think and move on communication. So I want you to think about what I just told you. If you need to listen to this all 3 times, 4 times, amazing. You're moving. Think and move. One of the ways you can move on these 6 things is listen to this podcast again and again and again. Okay? Immerse yourself in only me for the next 12 months. That's one of the ways you can move. And then one of the other ways you can move on communication is going, okay, well, I'm going to be really clear and direct and concise. I'm going to try and talk to my clients like they're clueless around bookkeeping and just keep it really big picture and outcome. I am going to, all the things we've talked about here. So just any tiny little action, is going to move you in the right direction. Yeah, that's why I'm saying think and move. All right, my friend, we're at the end of this very long episode, but I'm really happy with the 2 episodes that I brought to you with all of the things that we've talked about. I'm really thrilled with what I've shared. And actually, I'd love to know what you think. So you can jump into the Strategic Bookkeepers Way private Facebook group that I have for you if you'd like to use my way, right? So that's like my book. You read my book and then you say, yay, I love Jeannie's way. Jump into the Facebook group or send me an email. Yeah, hello@the-Strategic Bookkeeper. If you want to get your phone out now and just send an email and tell me exactly what you thought of the podcast, I would love that. If you use audio tech for comms, I would love an audio from you. If you send me an email and I respond, it's probably going to be an audio message. You're really going to see how I communicate as a secret marketing weapon and make life easier for you and for all my clients through smart comms, okay? So I do hope you enjoyed the last 2 episodes, and I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, my friend, now it is time to take action. So what are you going to do with what you learned today? The way I see it, you've got 2 options. You can go it alone to try and save some money, or you can back yourself and go for it and join my tribe. And let me tell you, we are knocking it out of the ballpark. That's not a sales pitch. That is me serving you, dare I say, courageously. To find success, I 100% know you need the mechanics, which is like the keys to the kingdom, but you also need to get your mindset right and be super productive. And these are all things I help you with inside the program. I could go on about this forever because I really want this for you. Have a prosperous week, and I'll see you in the next episode.